Good afternoon. I'm here with Luke Castle, the Chief Executive Officer of InstantAction, his new company that has over 100 full-time staff. Luke, please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your company.
Okay, well, I'm known by a lot of people in the industry as one of the founders of Westwood Studios. I was with Westwood for many, many years as a founder, of course. Then we became part of Electronic Arts, and I stayed with EA for many more. So the first time I've actually not worked for my company that I founded, I was recruited by the folks at IAC, who own InstantAction. IAC, for those who don't know, is a massive online conglomerate of companies, everything from Match.com, Ask, Urban Spoon, a bunch of companies, Vimeo. And so what was really exciting to me about InstantAction, and the reason I would say that anybody should be interested in InstantAction, is that they have some really great technologies on the website, and they have a great partner in their parent company, which is IAC, in really understanding e-commerce and web activities. So having a little bit of all of that coupled with games really sort of positions us to be a good transition from games through bricks and mortar and traditional realms to games online.
And tell us a bit about your role at InstantAction and how you came to be working at InstantAction.
Well, I had decided I was going to leave EA about a year ago, a little over a year. And during the period where I was leaving the company, I interviewed at a couple of different places and found out about this place through one of the fellows that went to Zynga, actually. He said, "You really should check out InstantAction." So I went up to New York and met with Barry Diller and the folks up there and Shanna, and was really just enamored with the whole idea of being able to bring the game design and production methodologies that I've developed over a long period of time into the space of online games, where I feel like it's still very early and very fresh, and a lot of the games lack depth and sophistication, at least in the way of the quality of the assets that are created and such. So really looking forward to bringing premium quality games into the online spaces. Okay,
and InstantAction is not at the moment a very well-known name in Europe. Why is InstantAction a great place to work?
Well, again, I think it's a great place to work because of our mission. You know, we really are trying to take the best of the premium game space and bring it to the web, and fully enabled with all the web e-commerce and such. InstantAction was fairly well known in the States as a place where you could go to play free-to-play games that were advertising supported. And they were 3D games inside the browser. What people didn't realize is that that could have been any game. Could have been Call of Duty, Crisis, Blizzard's World of Warcraft, anything. It just, they happened to be games that were made by the Garage Games studio. So one of the reasons I joined the company was, one, to continue making games, which I always love to do, but also to be able to enable our platform to run other people's games. The first of which was kind of a test run with The Secret of Monkey Island, which was, of course, a Lucas title, an old favorite. But of course that still doesn't show off the power of the platform just yet, because the ability to embed games is really powerful, but we also have the ability to play any kind of game that can run on the system, so full 3D powered games. So if you want to work on really exciting titles and you want to work in a new space, kind of emerging market, we're exactly the right company to be in. We're part of a very powerful and very well-funded parent company, so you don't have the same fears you do with most startups. So that's always good, and we've got great benefits packages and very professional organization, but it still has that kind of startup feel.
Fantastic. And I know you're based in Las Vegas and Portland, Oregon. Can you tell us why they're great places to live and to work? Sure.
First, a little explanation. All of Garage Games and InstantAction and the Torque toolset, all of us were in Eugene. When I came on the company, we looked at where we were geographically and where we could grow. And so Eugene is a fine little city, but it's difficult to recruit into a small city like that. Many of the people that worked on the platform business lived in Portland, and they wanted to move back up there. So we brought the platform business up to Portland. That's the web services business. And then, of course, I still live in Las Vegas, so we brought the game studio down to Las Vegas and grew it from there. And the tools came down to Vegas as well. The Torque tools are well known in the educational market, but they're also heavily used in the casino gaming market, so it made good sense to have the tools group down in Las Vegas as well. So if you're into making the games themselves, Vegas is probably the better location of the two. What Vegas has to offer as a location, when we built Westwood there, we learned over time that it's a fantastic place to build a studio. You're one hop away from California, so it's easy for people to stay in touch with their family and such. but you're over the line, as it were. So you don't have any state income tax, and you've got much lower standard or lower cost of living, higher standard of living. So so it really turns out to be a great place. In fact, it actually is cheaper to live in Las Vegas than it is to live in Eugene, Oregon, which a lot of the folks found a little surprising.
Yeah.
Now Portland is sort of the other side of that coin. Vegas, of course, very dry. Not as hot all the time as people imagine. It has very hot summers, but it's not hot during the winters at all. In fact, actually, it's quite cool. Up in Portland, it's very wet, so very temperate, and doesn't get very cold, doesn't get very hot. And Portland, as a city, has been in the tops of the desirable places to live and work in the United States for year after year. And Vegas has been one of the fastest growing communities for a very long time. Last couple of years it's been tough because of the economy, but I'm sure it'll bounce back.
Fantastic. And finally, Lou, what advice would you give a job seeker looking to apply for a job with InstantAction?
The same advice I give most people, which is no matter what you do, you have some amount of editorializing that you have to do of your portfolio. And I really encourage this for people. It's like less is more. Pick your absolute best stuff. Pick as few things as you possibly can that would really show your talent and your abilities. And when you go into the interview, go in open-minded, because every culture, every company is a little different. And having recruited both at Westwood and then at EA with very different cultures, I see way too many times people kind of approaching it from a very, trying to include everything, and then being very sort of methodical about the way they approach the job. The most important question I always ask everybody who's coming in is, what's your future look like? Where do you want to be in a couple of years, and how does that personal aspiration fit within where the company, what kind of positions the company's looking to fill? And going back to why we're a great place to work, one of the things we're just committed to deeply is growing people in their careers and helping them to move up to the next level. It's allowed me to work with some fantastic people and to keep working with really great talents that grow in the industry.
Great. Lou Castle, Chief Exec of InstantAction, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.